Today, guys, we're back on our grind trying to get down that list of requests that you all have sent in. And this one, as I was reading down the list, sound very intriguing to me. And it's titled, "The Secret Time When MJ and Kobe Taught LeBron How to Win." Come on in here, let's talk about it. What it do, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. While you in here, hit that like, comment, subscribe, notification bell so you can be notified every time Her Takes uploads a new video. All right, yeah, this sounds like it's going to be a good one. My question is, did he or did he not listen? My guess is no, 4-6 in the finals. But let's jump into it. We ain't wasting no time today. Let's jump into it and see what's up with it.
The beauty of the NBA has always been the passing of the torch. Dr. J to Larry Bird and Magic, Larry and Magic to MJ, MJ to Kobe, and Kobe to LeBron. But the difference with MJ and Kobe was they both never seemed to want to pass the torch.
When I came along, and said there'd never be another Dr. J, then you came along. Who have you been sizing up for the torch passing? Hardaway is a great pick because of versatility, the things that he can do with the ball, without the ball, defensively. Grant Hill is very similar to you, to Scottie Pippen. You see the passing of the torch to the next generation, but I ain't ready to give him that yet.
Talk about injuries as we've been covering Larry Bird. Grant Hill, his injuries most definitely held him back.
See the passing of the torch to the next generation, but I ain't ready to give him that yet.
So what about MJ and Kobe passing the torch to LeBron? MJ and Kobe were the two most competitive players in NBA history, and both had reasons to be wary of LeBron. MJ not wanting LeBron to come for his GOAT status, and Kobe not wanting LeBron to surpass him as the NBA's best player starting in the 2010s. Even by LeBron James' own admission, there was never much contact.
You and Michael at a good spot.
Who, me and Michael?
Jordan?
Yeah, we're a good spot. We don't talk.
Why not, you think?
Because I'm still playing. I think I'm still playing. I'm still focused on my craft right now.
When you're done, you think you two will be the
I
only
hope
two
so.
that can have a conversation?
I hope so. You know, the funny thing is, like me and Kobe, besides our, the late great Kobe, obviously, me and Kobe never had a real relationship either. Until we was on the Olympic team, we had a great relationship there. Olympic team 8, Olympic team 12. But it was always competitive between us. We were always like, I was on the East Coast, he was on the West Coast, and it was like, even though we never, I fucked up one time in 09 and didn't beat Orlando, and I think it was 09, didn't beat Orlando and didn't get him an opportunity to play him in the finals. But and until I became a Laker and then he retired, that's when our relationship became really, really good.
Yeah.
He welcomed me, he called me bro, anything you need in LA, I got you. You're a Laker now, you family, and we would have multiple conversations. It was obviously, you guys saw him coming to a lot of games and things of that nature. And
However, they both...
And see, I'm going to call Cap. Because I think it's more than that with Jordan. I don't think it's just he's waiting for LeBron to retire to build a relationship. Because he had a relationship with Kobe before Kobe retired. I think that Jordan just sees through your antics, Bron. He sees through the smoke and mirrors. He sees through it and he don't want no part of it. He was always about respect and playing the game, right? The game of basketball. That was his thing. And he feels that, and it's just me now, but I think that he feels that LeBron has cheated the game. And I don't think that even when you retire LeBron, he's still not going to have a relationship with you. That's how I feel.
Multiple conversations. It was obviously, you guys saw him coming to a lot of games and things of that nature. And
However, they both gave him some secret advice. But in typical MJ and Kobe fashion, they didn't call up LeBron on the phone, both feeling that it was up to LeBron to reach out. But by all accounts, he never did. But Kobe and MJ both know LeBron pays close attention to the media, and they both tried giving advice to LeBron subtly through the media first.
All I thought about as a kid personally was winning championships. That's all I cared about. Now everybody's going to value things differently, which is fine. I'm just telling you how I value mine. If I'm Braun, you got to figure out a way to win. It's not about narrative. You want to win championships. You just got to figure it out.
When you look at LeBron James, you won your first.
I'm going to go back to what Kobe just said. Figure it out. And I like to do little snippets of my life as it relates to my children because I feel like I was a proud single mother with my children. But my youngest daughter, who was on all the honor rolls and everything like that, she always told me once she got older and graduated from college, she said, Mama, it was because you used to always tell me, figure it out. Figure it out. That would seem like that was your best thing you tell us. You had the answer, but you always made us figure it out. So that's deep. Bron, and he's right. Bron, it's a lot of issues Bron had, and I'm air quoting it, throughout his tenure of his quest of chasing that ghost, that if he'd just figured it out, the biggest one, stay in Cleveland and figure it out. That's always one of my things right there. You gotta figure it out.
Championships, you just gotta figure it out.
When you look at LeBron James, you won your first championship your 7th year in the league. What advice would you give him as he looks now to win his first?
First one's always the hardest. And then, as you get that first, the expectation comes. And now you got to live with those. Yeah, everybody says this is your 7th year, and they compare everything to me in terms of me winning in my 7th year. We had some tough battles, but once I got there, I never left. And I think once he gets there, the expectation is that he never should leave. And I wish him the best.
How important is winning championships to establishing a player's legacy?
Well, for all the people who's never won one, they're always going to say, oh, it's not that big of a deal. For all the people that have won, it's the greatest accomplishment, and you never can take that away. No matter what happens to me in life, you can never take away that I won 6 championships.
Then Kobe tried teaching LeBron at the Olympic Village.
My job was to get those two to talk.
LeBron and Kobe?
Yeah, they're both eyeing each other. They want to win. What LeBron and Kobe was the 4 o'clock workouts that Kobe did. LeBron sees that, okay, you're working, I'm going to work.
It's 4 a.m.
Yeah, 4 a.m. And I think Melo said it best. I'm not doing that shit. I'll meet you at 10 or 11, but I'm not going that far.
Credit to LeBron. After this, he won his first ring with the Heat. But throughout the first 2 years with the Heat, LeBron was still giving the ball up constantly in late game situations. Privately, this frustrated MJ and Kobe to no end. They'd also both become deeply frustrated with the offensive dunk fest the fourth quarters of All-Star games had become once MJ retired. So in the 2013 All-Star game at age 34, Kobe set out to send a message to LeBron and ended up giving him advice once again, but this time not so subtly as cameras caught most of it.
Kobe or LeBron?
That's a tough one, man. I would say Kevin Durant. In terms of dominance of the game of basketball at this stage, is LeBron. Championship-wise, Kobe Bryant. If you had to pick, between the two, that'd be a tough choice. But 5 beats 1.
Have you heard about Jordan's dominance?
Yeah, I heard. My take on it, I don't really have a take on it. He said he would take Kobe over me because it was 5 rings is better than 1, and last time he checked, 5 is better than 1. I don't think, at the end of the day, rings doesn't always define someone's career. If that's the case, then, I would sit up here and say I would take Russell over Jordan. But I wouldn't. I wouldn't take Russell over Jordan. Russell has 11 rings. Jordan has 6. Or I'd take Robert Horry over Kobe. I wouldn't do that. So rings does not define someone's career. Sometimes it's a situation that you're in, it's a team that you're in, and it's about timing as well. But I don't play the game and try to define who I am over what guys say or how they feel about me. It doesn't matter to me.
In this
Cap. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. That's Cap. And of course you're going to say that because you have less rings than Kobe. So of course you're going to throw that narrative. So it is what it is.
In this game, Kobe got frustrated with the lackadaisical play of the first 3 quarters. So he pulled Chris Paul aside before the 4th quarter, and they decided to up the competitive level. MJ issued a challenge to Kobe and LeBron before the game, but LeBron essentially downplayed it. However, Kobe was very excited to meet the challenge. Kobe started out the 4th quarter, picking up LeBron full court and making several great defensive plays and talking trash. Kobe was disappointed that LeBron didn't answer the challenge, but fate gave LeBron one last chance to take on Kobe at the end of the game when he corralled an offensive rebound.
Williams gets it back. Down to 3 seconds.
He gonna pass it.
Picks it off.
Melo like, dude. Kobe like, man, why you ain't? He was scared.
With 6 seconds to go, maybe a little less.
Scared.
On the court, when it accosted LeBron for passing the ball off. Maybe a little less.
How about talking?
All the killers on the court, when it accosted LeBron for passing the ball off, telling him if he's going to be the best player in the world and win championships, he has to demand the ball in the final moments. Stephen A. had this to say.
I was happy to see Kobe Bryant and Carmelo Anthony get in LeBron's face after the game. I'm sorry, after the last play. Because Kobe's like, what's wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
Right.
Shoot the shot.
I thought Carmelo was laughing at him.
No, Carmelo was like, oh, come on. What are you doing? And Kobe was like saying it, like, what's wrong with you? Okay?
He was scared.
Talent is off the charts. There is something missing. We all know it. We've chronicled it, or whatever the case may be, because I didn't believe what you believed until I saw it in the NBA Finals.
Listen, my little girl used to be a cheerleader. And they used to do this cheer. He's scared. He's shaking. He know he ain't gonna make it. Bron was scared.
My point to you is this. That is the low. It's a huge hump because it's all psychological. It's nothing about his game. It's all psychological. But he has got to get over it.
The advice finally seemed to take, and while LeBron had a rough final 3 minutes of Game 6 in the finals with some missed shots and turnovers, he was at least being much more aggressive that whole fourth quarter, and it put the Heat in position for Ray Allen to hit the clutchest shot in NBA Finals history. LeBron went on to hit several dagger jumpers in the ensuing Game 7, and he won his second NBA title, seemingly following Kobe's advice. But the next year, LeBron and the Heat lost in a rematch with the Spurs, and he decided to leave the Heat because he felt that 1, he needed younger and more talented co-stars, and 2, he felt Pat Riley wasn't giving him enough freedom.
This was the first moment where I had an inkling that LeBron may not be back. One thing you don't do is fuck with LeBron cookies. No, this is serious. So we get on the plane and we play cards at the front of the plane. We play cards, and then at some point, Bron gonna be like, "Hey, bring me those cookies." And this one day, he was like, "Hey, where my cookies at?" And they had to come up there and whisper in his ear and tell him there were no more cookies on the plane. That motherfucker sat back away from the game. He pushed that cards back. He sat there quiet, doing his head like this. I was looking, I'm like,
It's over with. It's over with.
Play cards no more. He sat there like this.
Kobe and MJ both became concerned with the teaming up mentality and the jumping team mentality led by LeBron. Once again, they tried to give LeBron some more secret advice through the media. Michael Jordan said, "There's no way with hindsight I would have ever called up Larry, called up Magic, and said, hey look, let's get together and play on one team. But things are different. I can't say that's a bad thing. It's an opportunity these kids have today. In all honesty, I was trying to beat those guys." And also you have this tweet here from Kevin Durant in 2010. Well, I guess his opinion changed.
LeBron said that when they put together the quote-unquote super team, it was a lot tougher on them than you guys are going through. Do you believe that?
What does it matter? We just want a cookie for it?
It seems like you did.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
He wanted a cookie.
Yeah, he does actually. Yeah.
Good advice?
Great advice. Yeah, I'll never ever say that. I mean, him and Magic and those guys, and Michael in particular, is really giving me phenomenal advice on how to take a team, particularly with the personalities that we have, and how to better communicate with your teammates, how to better elevate your teammates.
The problem is, this advice was long-term legacy-defining advice, and LeBron was concerned with the short-term immediate situation right in front of him.
Facts.
And that he just lost to the Spurs by a record finals margin. So he went to the Cavaliers to join forces with the up-and-coming Kyrie Irving and the newly acquired 26-12 averaging All-Pro Kevin Love. After going 1-2 in the finals against the Warriors in 2015 through 2017, Kobe came out with his book, Mamba Mentality. In it, he gave advice directly for the first time to LeBron James.
You write in the book about LeBron James, the main thing the two of you discussed is what constitutes a killer mentality. What was your message to him?
Well, the message is always to go out there and dominate. Right? There's no let up. Once the game starts and once the practice begins,
you're in that mode. Everything's a game 7. When you approach every practice and every game with that kind of mentality, it bleeds into the rest of the guys. And then the rest of the unit has that same approach and that same intensity, but it starts at the top.
It seemed LeBron.
Let me say this. I think that Kobe, MJ, Magic, Bird, Kareem, all of those guys, right? I think that they all wanted to see LeBron dominate. They saw his athleticism because a true athlete, they're really generally not jealous. They admire that. They have an admiration for it. And I think that they really wanted to see him dominate, and it frustrated them that he didn't have that dog, that killer in him. And I also think, now this is a hot take, they saw them Euro boys coming, and they wanted to keep the U.S. dominant. They knew he was getting the keys next, and they wanted to see the U.S. continue to dominate. And he fell short. He fell short. It just is what it is. But anyway, they really genuinely, that's why they kept sending him these subliminals. They wanted him to take it. And now I'm wondering, was Braun the one closing those communication lanes? I think it ultimately ended up being Jordan, because Jordan started saying, man, he ain't worth my time. But I believe initially Braun, had that S on his chest and that crown on his head, that he like, think about it. And I didn't mean for this to be this long. In that All-Star game, he didn't listen to Jordan. Kobe did. So I think that it was Bron at first, and then MJ began to see how he was, and he was like, bet that. And now, he ain't got time for him.
The unit has that same approach and that same intensity, but it starts at the top.
It seemed LeBron was taking Kobe's advice after losing Kyrie after his trade request to the Celtics. LeBron was well on his way to what was, in my opinion, his most dominant performance ever in Game 1 of the 2018 Finals. However, Kobe was not just talking about dominant play, he was talking about dominant mentality. And after JR's blunder in Game 1 of the Finals, LeBron seemed to not understand this, shutting down mentally in the ensuing huddle. And unfortunately, he did not dominate the overtime, going 0 for 4 and going on to get swept 4-0. Michael Jordan has been asked constantly during his career if he felt his various accomplishments ranked him as the greatest ever. Kobe was also often asked about this. They both had similar responses, with MJ clearly giving Kobe insight about the importance of answering this way.
This accomplishment, combined with all your others, vault you over the Johnsons and Birds and Russells and Chamberlains and
No, I think that's something that I really can't say can be established. Each one of us playing at different eras, with different teams, with different levels of success, and to compare all of them and say one's better than the next, it's an unfair gesture to the art, or to the artists. Being that Magic Johnson, Wilt Chamberlain, all the guys before me were the artists of this game of basketball, and we've all learned from them, and we've improved the picture to a certain extent. And to say that one improvement is better than all of it.
And who's the GOAT?
See, that's the type of immature question.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's who's the GOAT. I'm the regular sports fan. This is what we talk about.
I know, this is what regular fans talk about. I get it.
You don't.
And that's why I say it's subjective. For those of you that come at me, it ain't subjective. Regular sports fans are the ones that talk about this GOAT stuff. You just heard Kobe say it.
Sports fan. This is what we talk about.
I know, this is what regular fans talk about. I get it.
You don't. So you're saying you're the GOAT?
What I'm saying is regular people ask really simple questions sometimes. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Here's the thing though, man, is that like things that MJ was doing, he learned from Gator Thompson and Jerry and those guys. Stuff that I've done, I've learned from MJ. Stuff that Bron does, learned from me. And playing on the Olympic team, work ethic, all that stuff. It's a chain thing, man. I know people want to talk about who's this, who's that, because it fills up good conversation time or downtime, whatever the case may be. But for us as athletes, it's really a chain reaction. You can't have one without the other. It's just not possible.
And that is so true. And this is something that Bron should have listened to, because for him to name himself that play right there or that game right there, that's what made me the GOAT. No, it won't. Because at the end of the day, if I were him, if nothing else, I would have felt funny by saying that because of Draymond Green's suspension and all the little things that happened during that series, right? And then you didn't. I would have given that to Bron had he come back that next season after they got Durant and beat them, and then the season after, oh yeah, you're right. But you still don't crown yourself, and you still don't name yourself the GOAT. And once he started to do that, that was disrespectful. It's just disrespectful to, like Kobe said, the people that have played before you, or either Kobe or Jordan said. I can't remember which, but it's disrespectful. And when he did it, I was like, oh my God, whew, I'm just so glad to be here now.
MJ had gotten this advice from Dr. J and had passed it on to Kobe, knowing that declaring yourself the GOAT was disrespectful to those that paved the way before you and to leave it up to the fans. They both gave interviews to this effect to pass it on to the heir apparent in LeBron James. During this second stint in Cleveland, LeBron started his famous barbershop-style podcast called The Shop. In this show, LeBron sometimes discussed his playoff series wins and losses with the guests. He discussed his epic 3-1 comeback against the Warriors in 2016 on the show here.
That one right there made me the greatest player of all time. That's what I felt. I was super, super ecstatic to win one for Cleveland because of the 52-year drought. Like, I was ecstatic. Like, obviously, I showed that day, the first wave of emotion was when everyone saw me crying. Like, that was all for 52 years. Everything in sports was going on in Cleveland. And then after I stopped, I was like, that one right there made you the greatest player of all time.
Didn't listen.
The unfortunate part about this clip is he's essentially breaking a 3-generational bridge from Dr. J to MJ to Kobe. Now he has created a new bridge, and hopefully when Jokic or Luka or Shea, whoever ends up becoming the next heir apparent, will remember MJ's and Kobe's advice on this. Soon after, LeBron signed as a free agent with the Los Angeles Lakers and began to immediately push the team behind the scenes to trade away their young assets to get him a second star.
And I still say they should have kept all them young boys.
With Lonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram and Kyle Kuzma regularly hearing LeBron's trying to trade you chance.
End of November, they won by 8. LeBron had 12 of his game-high 38 in the final 5 minutes. Sabonis went off for 20 and 15 for Indy.
LeBron told Rich Paul he wanted his client AD, who was under contract for 2 more years with the Pelicans. This hereby started another new trend that Kobe and MJ felt hurt the league. Giving your word to a franchise and then forcing a way out. Since LeBron, Rich Paul, and AD pulled this off, we've seen James Harden do it twice, Ben Simmons do it, Paul George, Jimmy Butler do it twice, and many more. Respect to Paul George for at least just asking instead of faking injuries or holding out like the rest of them.
See, as the GOAT, you got to realize that you're a trendsetter. People are watching what you do. And antics like this, he never should have done. It's look what it started, and it ain't over with. It's gonna keep going. You're gonna see more guys do this.
The rest of them. Now, over the years, LeBron has at times been an elite defender, and other times has taken that side of the ball off. But once he came to the Lakers, there was a lot more taking off on the defensive end and a lot more sitting out to rest. MJ had passed on to Kobe that when you're the face of the league, every game you play, somebody somewhere traveled and paid a ton of money specifically to see you play, and it might be their only chance to see you. So you gave it your best, and you played your hardest at both ends every night, even if you had some bumps and bruises. They both followed this religiously.
The night they lost to Orlando, I said, Michael, I'm about to get out of here. Let me know when you want me to see you, because I'll see you tomorrow. Michael had an obligation to himself, the fans, his teammates, the organization, his family, everybody. He said, if you're going to sit down and take 3 hours out of your day to watch me on TV, I have an obligation to give you my best.
Let that sink in.
Give you my best all the time.
Kobe didn't want to disappoint his fans, especially the ones in the 300 sections that saved up to watch him play. the kids with the same excitement he once had. I remember asking him why he couldn't just sit a game out because he was hurting. He said, "What about the fans that saved up to watch me play just once?" He never forgot about his fans.
So when LeBron started taking off plays on defense and sitting out games to rest, Kobe was the messenger.
What is your feeling about where he is in his career right now and all that?
Yeah, that's the tough part, is that when you miss a game, there's that one kid out there that's not going to see his favorite player play. Okay? Now, that being said, LeBron has done so much for the game. Right? So we need to give he's earned the opportunity to be able to take a rest. He's earned that. We can disagree with it. We feel absolutely terrible for the kids that come and watch him perform. But at the same time, this man has been to a finals pretty much every year for as long as I can remember. He's done so much to elevate the game. So he's earned the right for us to give him the benefit of the doubt.
On its face, this is essentially a debate about doing what's best for yourself or doing what's best for the league and the fans. I know that sounds like a tough decision. Well, I'll try to get into that in another video, but I really like MJ and Kobe's approach. MJ, Kobe, and the other all-time greats were also both extremely frustrated with LeBron leading the charge in the no-effort All-Star games, with Magic and Larry Bird being the messengers to deliver this message.
I'm truly a Bird fan. Oh.
This message.
1 to 2 guys that have the right attitude about this, that is a superstar, changes everything. Remember what happened last year. In last year's All-Star game, Dr. J and Larry Bird, you heard the story just like I did, Wilbon. They made sure we know. Dr. J and Larry Bird walked into the locker room and talked to the players. And they talked to the players, and the NBA thought, yes, the players are really, really listening. They're really, really getting it. And then one of the superstars, who will remain nameless, but everybody can surmise who that was, gave a side eye to those guys while they were talking. And then the players went out there and let 400 points be scored. And the league ain't letting that go. And so what happens is it just shows you, if one player can have that kind of an impact negatively, they can also have that kind of impact positively.
Unfortunately, it didn't take, and fans and media alike have been outraged.
If you're really about it, if you're really about sports, then you're about 2 things: your teammates and the fans. And I'm sorry, it doesn't matter how much money you're making. When you do not show up to play, you're letting your teammates down. I don't care if you're getting $300 million. Congratulations. But these people in here are paying $2,500 a ticket. How do we expect you to be an example? Well, guess what? You don't want to be? You are one. You're on the biggest stage. You just said it. They make the most money. You are an example. You got to show up. You got to take that on. I'm sick and tired of making athletes greats, all-time greats, that aren't the best examples. Those are the people that we want our kids to follow. We talk about greatness and it being the longevity of somebody's career. I don't care if you play 50 years. I want your best 10. I want you on the court dominating. I want you to go all out. I want Michael Jordan. I want Kobe. That's what I want in every sport. That's the guy that I follow. If you're a different version than that, you don't get my respect.
The point of this video, guys, is to show that while there's nothing wrong with going your own way in life, oftentimes the wisdom and advice from our elders is them seeing the long-term vision, and it can help us see past our short-term desires. Ultimately, LeBron's talent and many of the good decisions he's made have helped him become very successful, but I think many of those successes were short-term or short-lived. Michael Jordan and Kobe built mentalities, legacies, and stories that will last forever. And while LeBron only accepted their advice a few times, I believe the mentality change they and Dwayne Wade passed to him did help him win his last 3 championships. Thank you guys for watching.
Here are my takes from this particular video. A banger. Thanks for suggesting it. I think back on how when he was talking about Jordan and how Jordan battled against the Pistons and all them when he was losing, because they was whipping his butt. And it kind of jogged my memory because just the other day somebody commented on one of my old Jordan videos because I said that the Pistons put a battery in Jordan back, and somebody commented and say, no, they didn't. Jordan just ended up getting, well, he got better because of what they put him through. The tried and true, what they put him through. He didn't quit. He didn't give up. He kept going. It motivated him to keep fighting. And that's all they wanted to see LeBron do. You were supposed to keep fighting in Cleveland, just like Larry Bird did in Boston. He made it. He came to a 25-win team and had them in the. They got a chip a couple of years later. Like, come on. The other thing that stuck out to me is you reap what you sow, right? He had that nasty attitude with when Dr. J and Bird them came into the locker room to encourage them, and he had that little attitude that old boy talked about. I didn't know about that. And then how he disrespected Jordan at the All-Star game and didn't, take heed, and Kobe was willing to do it, and he blew it off. Try to act like he's, bigger than the game, really. And these guys are forward thinking for the game, for the U.S. How did you feel when you said, I'm just trying to help the young guy, talking about Kyrie when Kyrie left you? When you felt like Kyrie wouldn't listen to you? You reap what you sow, Bron. Anyway, that's all I got. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you're new. And as always, stay safe. On to the next one. Peace.